I'm back with Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, everybody wants infrastructure. Some people don't want to pay for infrastructure. Last night, I had a conversation with the economist Stephanie Kelton, whom you know well. She's been an advisor to your campaigns. Let me play a little of what she said to me about the size and the way we think of paying for these kinds of bills.
I believe that $2 trillion isn't enough to deal with the various challenges, the problems that we face in this economy. I'd like to see Democrats go much bigger, but recognizing that you've got to be very careful when you manage the so-called pay-fors. How do you offset spending in an economy that's moving closer to full employment?
Your thoughts on this, Senator, because that's the issue for most people. It's a lot of money. How do we pay for it?
Well, it is a lot of money, but when you have massive levels of income and wealth inequality, when you have people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, two people owning more wealth than the bottom 40% of the American society, when you have dozens and dozens of corporations not paying a nickel in federal income tax, when you have an effective tax rate which allows billionaires to pay a smaller rate, a lower rate than working families, you know what? You can raise money by having a progressive tax system. But most importantly, and I think what Stephanie was saying, is that when we talk about infrastructure, of course, we're talking about roads and bridges. Water is a big deal, water systems, wastewater plants. But we've got to take a broad look at what infrastructure means, human infrastructure for ordinary people. Human infrastructure means housing. You got 500,000 people in this country who are homeless. You got 19 million households who are spending 50% of their limited incomes on housing. We need to build housing. And by the way, when you deal with housing, you create jobs. You got to deal with climate change. Who in their right mind would believe that transforming our energy system to protect us from the devastation that we're seeing from climate change, who would not believe that that is not infrastructure? So moving away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energies, that can create millions of jobs. When I talk about infrastructure, it means if a mom and dad are going to work, they have the right to know that their kids are in decent childcare. That's infrastructure. Infrastructure is having the best educated workforce in the world. That means all of our kids should have the ability to get a higher education, not leave school deeply in debt. It means that we need a healthy society. Our life expectancy is 40th in the world because we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all people. So I think as a nation, we've got to take a very broad look at what we mean by infrastructure. It's physical infrastructure, obviously, bricks and mortar. It is human infrastructure. And now is the time to create millions of jobs addressing all of the needs impacting the middle class and working families of this country.
So it's a compelling argument. Are any Republicans going to buy that argument that you just made?
Probably not. Look, they live in their world, and their world will be trying to obstruct as much as possible what Biden and many of us in the Congress are trying to do. What their job is right now trying to divide us up by stressing xenophobia and racism, making it harder for people to vote. So our job, I believe, and I think we are in an enormously wonderful moment, is to rally the American people around the middle class who have been neglected for so many years. It is the right thing to do policy-wise. It is the right thing to do politically. And if we do that, if we bring people into the political process who say, you know what, healthcare is a human right. Yeah, I need to make at least $15 an hour. Yeah, I need to have decent housing. Yes, my kid has a right to get a college education. We do that. We transform this country and we create a political coalition which is not going to lose for a very long time.
Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, thanks for your time this morning. We always appreciate you joining us on the show.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.